The Fighting Irish take down number 6 Virginia Tech. This was a battle, 5 for 6 in this one, 63-52. It was all about the fourth quarter for the Irish. They really put on the gas in this one and took off against the Hokies. Steve Feck, Christian Rao here for Slasher U. Welcome in. Let's talk about this game. This is going to be a really good one. And honestly, initially, right off the bat, Steve, what I have to talk about is Olivia Miles. 16 points, 13
Yes.
rebounds, 7 assists. I mean, she's almost putting up triple double numbers on that one. This is a player who has really stepped up and become not only the star and the stud on this Notre Dame team, but honestly, a name that we need to be talking about at a national spotlight.
Yeah, yeah, right. As a player of the year candidate, sure. I mean,
Yes.
and it's easy, for us to have our thoughts drift to South Carolina or Stanford or UConn.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, Olivia Miles, we've seen her in a couple of big games now. I mean, she just is. She wants that ball. She wants the spotlight. She wants her teammates to follow her lead, and you can't teach that. That's something that's instilled in you. You can't even necessarily train for that. I mean, to a degree you can, but I mean, she is not going to shy away from tough moments, even when she has off nights, and sometimes she's had some tough early shooting outings and then suddenly pours it on in the second quarter on and really helps lead the team. And I think Olivia Miles has really been helped a lot by Lauren Ebo. I think
Oh, for
Lauren
sure.
Ebo is an unsung player on this roster, as as unsung as someone that's routinely scoring in double digits, on a regular basis. But and I know her first name's Maddie Westball. Another nice job, underneath, playing in the paint. I think she had 9 or 10 rebounds in this game. So Olivia Miles makes the players around her better because she gives her teammates the confidence to know that if it's that shot clock is clicking down, and you're not seeing anything develop out there. They just try to find Olivia Miles, and 9 times out of 10 she's going to make the big basket.
Yeah, when you look at her stats, I think player of the year discussion is actually very warranted. You look at it, she is averaging 16 points, 8.3 rebounds, 7.2 assists. The assist is good for fourth in the nation, and she's shooting
Ooh.
50% from the field. So, I mean, that is some really good numbers across the board. She's not missing any category. So, I would actually be quite interested to look at some of those other big players we talk about, like, Haley Jones, Brink, Aaliyah Boston, just a few to just throw out there with the names that I'm sure everybody can hear. And I bet that Olivia Miles is right up there, or if not better than in some of those statistics, or maybe all of them. Really interesting to keep in mind looking forward as we get further into the season. She's got a tough challenge, though, and she just took down Virginia Tech, probably one of their biggest challenges in the ACC, left other than the exception of maybe North Carolina. However, this is going to be a very brutal, honestly, brutal conference play for them. Virginia hasn't lost yet. We're going to see them take on Notre Dame very soon. This Fighting Irish team, although they are the fifth ranked team in the country, I think they are better than what they are saying to be. I know that there is a lot of tiers, if you will, between who is the top team, number one, who's number two. I think they deserve to be number three right now. I'm giving them as the
Yeah.
third best team in the country, right behind Stanford and South Carolina.
No, no, yeah, I'm absolutely with you there. I mean, and they've shown it on the court. That's what I love about it. They've proven it on the court. It's not just what the pundits said in the preseason or what could happen or what talent they might have. They're proving it on the court. Something I just noticed, and I hadn't noticed when I was doing the initial rundown of the game before we came on, is that Virginia Tech only played 6 players.
Yeah.
They just cannot do that. I mean, and they have, again, they got some young talent in there, but you can't go in, especially like a team like Notre Dame, who's going to run the court with you, who's going to make you work defensively. I mean, Notre Dame women's very aggressive style of defense. You can't just stick with 6 players. I mean, as far as I know, there's no major injuries involved, on Virginia Tech's roster. So you can't, like with UConn. Okay, they all play with 7 players. Yeah, that's because that's all they have healthy, right now. But Virginia Tech, it has to be a conscious decision to do that because
Oh,
they
it definitely
certainly,
is.
yeah,
It definitely is.
yeah, and then I mean, you being the Virginia person, you may be more familiar with their roster, top to
Mhm.
bottom than I am, admittedly. But looking through there, yeah, that's just that's
Well, I
just
mean,
not going to work.
if you go back a few games ago to when they faced Tennessee and they won by just 3, they played 8, but if you look at the box score, one of them played 1 minute and the other one had 0 minutes. I think it was like one of those quick in and out subs for a defensive
Right.
replacement. So they are a 6-player rotation right now, which is very interesting, especially when you look at this game against Notre Dame and you look at how they shot. Wasn't very good. And 2 of those players were in a combined 1 for 11 from the field. So, I mean, when you only have 4 players who are giving you somewhat of production, you are going to have a hard time, especially when you're playing a tough team like the Irish. Virginia Tech's got a lot of things to really figure out. I know they're a very good team, and I think we are going to see a lot of them come throughout the next few months and into March. However, I just don't know if we can talk about them as a team who could go deep. I know we're talking about them right now as the number 6 team in the nation. Before they lost this game, Notre Dame, they did slide down to 8. But regardless, even as the number 8 seed in the nation right now, I don't know if we can talk about them being an elite 8 team, if you will, because of the fact that they don't have that depth, Steve.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, as great as Elizabeth Kitley is, when she had 20 rebounds in this one. That's unbelievable. I mean, there aren't many men's players that are getting 20 rebounds in a game, but as far as inside player, is she as good as Boston? No. Is she as good as Brink? You can go down the list, and no, 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 no. So that's not going to get them, a deep run based on their inside play. And then a more, she has a nice stroke from 3-point land. I mean, I do like what she can bring to a team, but I think she's probably the only dependable perimeter player. I know they've had some nice performances throughout the year, but Amore is basically the only real perimeter weapon they have. So, as you said, are they going to get to the tournament? Oh, I think absolutely they will. Are they going
Absolutely.
to make a deep run? I don't know. I mean, if they run up against a team that can either out physical them in the paint, or more importantly, if they can, let's say they're playing a team like Creighton or Iowa State, who can really drain, the 3-pointers and really have a nice, strong perimeter game in a tournament. They're matched up that way. I mean, they're going to get beat, but hats off to them. I think they've performed a little better than I anticipated. I knew they would be good, but I didn't think they were going to be as good as they have proven so far. I just hope that this decision to play a very short roster doesn't backfire on them come tournament time.
Yeah, and because really in the conference play too, we're talking about
Yeah.
a conference right now that doesn't have a single losing team heading into conference play. We are one team that's very close. Pitt is 6-5, but with the exception, almost every other team is like 9-1, 10-1, 11-2, something along those lines. Very deep conference in the ACC on the women's side. We're going to get a lot of bids out of the ACC come tournament time on both the NCAA tournament and the WNIT. It's going to be very interesting.
Mhm.
Notre Dame, though, I'm looking forward to seeing how they can face for the rest of the year and into conference play. I can't wait to watch Notre Dame versus North Carolina. I think that game is just going to
Yeah.
be absolutely electric when we get that one. That's going to be on January 8th, 4 o'clock. It's in North Carolina. So something to keep in mind as well. That could be just enough for the Tar Heels to take it from the Irish. Maybe they will, maybe they won't. Let us know your thoughts in the comment description below. Hit like and subscribe while you're there. And thanks for watching. Slasher U.